So today's workout, I'm gonna take you through a push-up, different variations of the push-up. The reason why push-up is important is because it's a fundamental exercise. So I believe that young kids should really do push-ups, or really anyone that's just getting started with their fitness in general. Once you could go on with doing solid amount of push-ups, then you should go on to lifting weights. But before the weights, master moving your own body weight. So, what we're gonna do first is go through the basic push-up technique. So, first what I'm gonna start off is I'm gonna show you how to do a basic plank. Now you may think, why are we gonna do a plank? I thought we were doing push-ups. Well, the correct plank, as you will see, translates into the correct starting push-up position. So as you saw in my plank, my back was flat, my elbows were in line with my shoulder joint. Now this is very important because the only difference between being in a plank on your forearms and being in a push-up position is that I'm going to have my hands in line with my shoulders. So as you see, our hands were placed in line with our shoulders, but the width of our hand placement is going to dictate what muscles we actually are working in the push-up. So if my hands are close to my body, I'm going to be working more of my arms and my triceps. But if I have my hands wide, I'm working more my chest muscles. So one question that has come to me is, why necessarily will we plank, or in certain techniques of doing push-ups, you're told to have your toes, pressure coming through your toes, or to be tight in certain areas of your body? Generally, what this concept is getting at is you need to have your core tight, which is why I mentioned a plank as our starting point. When you do a push-up, you do want to still be working your core. It's an upper body exercise. Yes, we're thinking arms and chest, but in all reality, in all exercises, you should be working your core. So keep that in mind as you do your push-up. The entire time, you are keeping your core engaged. When it comes to doing push-ups, especially for beginners, one thing I want to make clear is that to me, there's no such thing as a women's push-up or a female push-up. I like to call it an assisted push-up or a beginner level 1 push-up. So that's pretty much when you do a push-up with your knees on the ground. Yes, your knees are going to take away a lot of the extra weight that you're pushing up, but don't necessarily make it a man or woman thing. There were times where I had to rehab myself from coming back from a shoulder surgery. My first sets of push-ups after that operation, I had to do them on my knees. I'm a strong guy. It has nothing to do with male or female. So don't discredit yourself if this is where you need to start. Accept where your starting point is and work to get to new levels. So now I'm going to show you different levels of the push-up, from beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So first I'm going to start off with a level 1 or a beginner level push-up where you're on your knees. This is a good starting point if you've never done a push-up, or if you have any upper body type of injury, because it's going to pretty much take a lot of that extra pressure off. Now, what's important is that we do the full exercise and get our chest to the ground. You should definitely have the range of motion being assisted and closer to the ground. For boxers or fighters, martial artists, it's good to strengthen your hands and fists doing push-ups on your fists. You know, this may get easy to you. Well, really, it should never get easy because you should always just be able to up your amount of reps. But if you want to do a little bit more, put one leg in the air. Keep your core engaged. Another push-up technique is a decline push-up. If you have something that you can put your feet on, prop your feet up on it, or if not,
and by doing this, you're working more on your shoulders.
Another common variation of push-up that you may have seen is the diamond style push-up. Another push-up that I like to practice, especially for athletes, fighters, football players, maybe even basketball players, on your fingertips. You may wonder why. Well, mixed martial artists, they fight open hand gloves. Football players get their hands smashed all the time. Basketball players get fingers jammed by the ball. So it's good to do push-ups on your fingers. Strengthen your hands and your finger joints. And last but not least, if you really want to take it up to another level and test your power, clap push-up. You can either go up, clap your hands, or slap your chest. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe, and comment.